Imagine you are very hungry.
Oh, we've all been there.
Right. You are standing in a long line at a busy street food cart in New York.
It sounds loud.
It is. You can smell the grilled chicken, you hear the traffic, and you have been practicing your English in your head for like 10 minutes.
Just repeating the words over and over.
Exactly. Finally, it is your turn.
Yeah.
You look at the vendor and you use the exact words you practiced.
Okay, so far so good.
But instead of smiling, the vendor looks angry.
Oh.
He looks annoyed.
Oh, no.
The people waiting behind you sigh loudly. And the thing is, you did not use a bad word.
You didn't insult anyone.
No, but you used two simple English words that accidentally made you sound like a demanding, impatient child.
Wow. And that exact scenario, I mean, it happens thousands of times a day in English-speaking cities.
It really does. So welcome to our deep dive. Today, our mission is to give you the cheat code to never make that mistake.
Because people study the grammar and they memorize the vocabulary, right? But they often miss the cultural music of the language.
The cultural music, I like that.
Yeah, because ordering food is not just a transaction. It is a social dance.
Right, and if you do not know the right steps, you end up feeling embarrassed. Or you end up eating something you do not even like.
Which is the worst outcome.
Definitely. So we are going to fix that today. And because we are speaking directly to you, the English language learner, we are going to adjust our pace.
Yes, we are going to speak slowly. And we will pronounce our words very clearly.
Exactly. We want you to really hear the shapes of these English phrases.
So what are we looking at today?
We are going to look at some great source material that tracks a woman named Anna on her day off.
A day full of eating, hopefully.
Oh, yes. But we are not just reading her schedule. We are using her day as a stress test for different social rules.
Right, watching her move through different environments.
Starting with a simple, quiet interaction, then moving into loud public spaces, and finally dealing with, well, the confusing American rules of food delivery.
The goal here is confidence for you, the listener.
Yes, confidence is key.
Think of learning to order food like playing a video game.
Okay, a video game.
When you first start, the game is difficult. The enemies, which in real life are just fast-talking cashiers, seem intimidating.
They can be very scary when they speak fast.
But then you learn a special cheat code, a secret combination of buttons.
And suddenly your character has extra lives.
Exactly. The game becomes easy. In English, choosing a specific polite phrase is your cheat code.
It unlocks a better interaction. People smile at you, the service is faster, and you just take control of the situation.
So let's look at the first level of this game, Anna's morning.
Right. It is her day off, meaning no work. She walks to a local bakery.
Now, the source material specifically highlights that word, bakery. Let's spell that for the listener.
Sure. That is B-A-K-E-R-Y, bakery.
We really need to look at how native English speakers use this word, because it is more than just a building where bread is made.
Yeah, it has a specific feeling, doesn't it?
It does. It describes a cozy, comforting experience, a place that specializes in fresh, warm goods.
Like you might go there just to buy one single cookie.
Exactly. You wouldn't say, I'm going to the bakery if you were just grabbing a plastic bag of bread from a giant supermarket.
Right. The word carries a feeling of treating yourself.
So Anna treats herself to a croissant and a black coffee.
Oh, the croissant. This brings up a fantastic challenge for English learners.
It really does. Let's spell croissant first.
Okay, it is C-R-O-I-S-S-A-N-T.
This is originally a French word. It describes a buttery, flaky bread shaped like a crescent moon.
But English is a language that steals words from other languages all the time.
We do, and then we argue about how to say them.
We really do. So with this specific pastry, you will hear two completely different, totally acceptable pronunciations.
The source material breaks these down perfectly.
What is the first one?
The first way tries to honor the original French. It sounds like croissant.
Croissant. It is very soft.
Yes, listen to the softness. Croissant. The R sound is almost invisible, and the T at the end makes no sound at all.
Croissant. It feels very elegant to say.
It does. But if you are in a busy American coffee shop, you are probably going to hear the second pronunciation.
Right, the Americanized version, where people pronounce the letters exactly as they look in English.
Let's hear that one.
They say croissant. Let me say that clearly again. Croissant.
You can really hear the hard R sound there.
Yeah, and you hear the T at the very end. Croissant.
Now wait, I want to be clear for the listeners. Both are correct in an English context.
So if I say croissant, the cashier understands me.
Yes. And if you say croissant, the cashier also understands you.
That is a relief.
The vital thing for an English learner is to just not panic when you hear a native speaker use a different pronunciation than the one you studied.
English is flexible.
Very flexible. So Anna sits down with her pastry and her hot black coffee.
And our source material notes that this coffee makes Anna feel refreshed.
Refreshed. Let's spell that word.
It is R-E-F-R-E-S-H-E-D, refreshed.
This is a word that learners often confuse with just being awake.
I can see why. Let's look at why the source uses refreshed here instead of energized or awake.
Think about the battery inside your mobile phone.
Okay, I am picturing my phone battery.
When you use your phone all day, the battery drains. It turns red.
Right, it is almost empty.
The phone still works, but it is slow. Now, when you wake up from a terrible night of sleep, you are awake. Your eyes are open.
But my internal battery is still red.
Exactly. You feel heavy. But when you plug your phone into the wall, the battery icon turns green. It fills back up to 100%.
So that is the feeling of being refreshed.
Yes, it is an active state of being recharged.
Wait, let me make sure I understand. Is feeling refreshed different from just waking up from sleep? Like, can you be awake but not refreshed?
Yes, absolutely. You usually need an external thing to help you feel refreshed, a catalyst.
Like a hot cup of strong coffee.
Or a splash of cold water on your face, or, as the source points out, another very popular drink choice, sparkling water.
Oh, wow. This is a massive point of anxiety for tourists and language learners in restaurants.
The water question.
Yes. The waiter walks up to the table and immediately asks, would you like still or sparkling water?
If you are not prepared for that vocabulary, you might just freeze.
It is the very first test in the restaurant video game. So let's decode it for you.
Sparkling water is water with personality.
Personality.
Yes, it has gas inside it. It has bubbles. When you pour it, it fizzes and pops.
Okay, and what about still water?
Still water, spelled S-T-I-L-L, means exactly what the word implies. It does not move.
There are no bubbles. It is completely flat, plain water.
Right. But the vocabulary for the bubbly water changes depending on where you are.
The source material actually points out that you cannot just rely on the word sparkling.
No, you cannot. In many parts of the United States, if you want sparkling water, you might need to ask for seltzer.
Seltzer, let's spell that. S-E-L-T-Z-E-R.
Or you might hear it called club soda.
Club soda? C-L-U-B, and then soda, S-O-D-A.
They all generally mean the same thing in a restaurant context. Cold, clear water with bubbles.
Knowing these terms just removes the panic when the waiter asks the question.
You can just calmly reply, still water, please, or I will take a seltzer.
Which brings us to the actual mechanics of the transaction.
Right, how she actually orders.
We know Anna is in the bakery. How does she ask for her food?
This is where we get to the core problem we discussed at the very start of our deep dive, the street cart panic.
Yes. When Anna looks at the cashier, she does not say, I want a croissant.
No, she doesn't.
She says, I'll have one croissant, please.
I'll have. This is the magic key of English food ordering.
It is the polite cheat code. We really need to spend some time breaking down why I'll have works so well.
And why saying I want fails so terribly.
Let's talk about I want. Grammatically, it is not incorrect, right?
Right. If you are hungry, you do want the food.
But culturally, using I want with a service worker feels incredibly harsh.
It goes back to the analogy of a small child in a toy store.
Oh, I know this picture.
Picture a little 3-year-old boy. He sees a bright red toy car. He points his finger directly at it, stomps his foot, and loudly declares, I want that toy.
The emotion behind I want is raw desire. It lacks patience.
It completely lacks respect for the person listening.
In English-speaking cultures, customer service interactions require a layer of social softness.
Even though you are paying money for a service, you're still speaking to an equal.
Right. Saying, I want a coffee sounds like an order given by a king to a servant. It creates immediate friction.
And I'll have fixes that friction.
Because it sounds much calmer.
It does. I'll have is a contraction of I will have. Let's look at the psychology of those words.
Okay, what does I will have signal to the cashier?
It suggests that you have looked at the options, taken your time, and made a calm, polite decision about your future.
It says, I am a rational adult making a polite choice.
Exactly. The pronunciation of this contraction is also very important for sounding natural.
Right. Native speakers almost never say I will have, unless they are really emphasizing a point.
We squish the words together to sound relaxed and friendly. I'll have.
It is the letter I, an apostrophe, and 2 L's. Al.
Try practicing the physical shape of your mouth for this.
Your tongue touches the roof of your mouth right behind your teeth for the L sound. Al.
And then you move straight into the word have. I'll have.
Let's do a quick role play to demonstrate how this sounds in context.
Sounds good. I will be the bakery cashier. You be the customer.
Okay, I am ready.
Good morning. What can I get for you today?
Hi there. I'll have a black coffee and a croissant, please.
See? It is incredibly smooth.
And notice how I added the word please at the very end.
I'll have and then freeze. That combination is universally respected.
It protects you from ever sounding rude, no matter what environment you are in.
Which is good because Anna is about to change environments completely.
Yes, her peaceful morning is over. She's moving into the lunch rush.
This is a crucial transition in our source material.
Because a quiet bakery allows you to speak softly and take your time. But for lunch, Anna goes to a local food market.
The noise level rises. There are hundreds of people. There is loud music.
You can hear the loud sound of meat grilling on metal. This completely changes how you must communicate.
In a loud, crowded market, you cannot hesitate. There is a line of people waiting behind you.
The communication must be highly efficient, but still polite.
Anna finds a stall selling rice bowls, and the seller immediately asks her a critical question.
What does he ask?
He asks, spicy or not spicy?
This is fundamental to eating in any global city. If you visit London, Toronto, or New York, you will eat food from all over the world.
Mexican food, Thai food, Indian food.
And you will be asked about the spice level constantly.
Spicy, spelled S-P-I-C-Y. This word refers entirely to heat.
We are not talking about flavorful herbs like basil or garlic here.
No, we are talking about chili peppers. We are talking about the physical sensation of burning in your mouth.
Answering this question correctly requires knowing your own physical limits.
And knowing the exact English vocabulary to communicate those limits.
The source material outlines the options perfectly.
If you are someone who actively enjoys the feeling of your mouth burning, if you like to sweat while you eat.
Some people really do.
They do. You can request the highest level. You would say, extra spicy, please.
Extra signals that the normal amount of heat is not enough for you. You want more.
But the source notes that Anna's stomach cannot handle the intense heat on this particular day.
She needs something safe and gentle.
She has two clear options. She can mirror the seller's language and simply say, not spicy.
That leaves zero room for confusion.
Or she can use a highly specific vocabulary word that is essential for dining out. She can ask for her food to be mild.
Mild. Let's spell that for the listener. M-I-L-D. Mild.
This is a vital word for your English toolkit.
What exactly does it tell the chef?
It tells the chef, I want the food to taste good, I want the rich flavors, but I want the physical heat to be as low as possible.
It means gentle. Like a mild winter is a winter without terrible snowstorms.
Exactly. A mild curry is a curry that will not make your eyes water.
So Anna uses her polite cheat code. She says, I'll have the mild chicken rice bowl, please.
Perfect. She takes her food, finds a wooden bench away from the loud crowds, and eats.
The source material describes her feeling after finishing this specific meal. It says she felt satisfied.
Satisfied. That is a profound word, spelled S-A-T-I-S-F-I-E-D.
It is completely different from the phrase most language learners are taught, which is, I am full.
This is a beautiful distinction in the English language.
Wait, if satisfied is about the food, does that mean you can eat a huge meal, feel totally full, but still not feel satisfied?
Yes, absolutely. Full is a mechanical description. It is purely physical.
Like filling a glass of water.
Right. If you pour water into a glass until it reaches the very top, the glass is full.
If you put food into your stomach until you cannot fit another bite, you are full.
Let me present a scenario to make this really clear.
Okay.
Imagine you have been hiking all day, you are starving, you sit down, and someone hands you a massive bowl of dry, plain, unseasoned white rice.
Just plain rice, nothing else.
Nothing else. You eat the entire bowl. Your stomach is heavy. You are absolutely full. But are you satisfied?
No, not at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your physical capacity has been reached, but your brain and your emotions received no joy. The food was boring.
So satisfaction is emotional.
Satisfied requires a combination of physical fullness and deep emotional contentment. The quality of the food was excellent.
The flavor was perfect. The portion size was exactly what you needed.
When Anna finishes her mild rice bowl on that wooden bench, she feels a sense of peace. That is true satisfaction.
That feeling of peace leads Anna to the final part of her day.
She has navigated the quiet bakery, she has survived the loud lunch market, and now she just wants to retreat.
The outside world is exhausting, so she goes back to her apartment.
This brings us to a fascinating look at modern digital food culture in English-speaking countries.
The evening wind down. It is a ritual.
And the very first step of this ritual, according to our source material, is a physical transformation.
Anna takes off her outside clothes and puts on her comfy clothes.
Comfy. C-O-M-F-Y.
It is a playful, shortened version of the word comfortable.
English speakers do this constantly. We shorten words to make them sound friendlier and less formal.
But the concept of comfy clothes is almost psychological, right? Like
Yeah.
a mental uniform.
It absolutely acts as a mental uniform. Think about the clothes you wear out into the world.
Even if you don't wear a formal suit, outside clothes have structure. They have belts. They have buttons.
They're designed for public viewing. Comfy clothes, like soft sweatpants or loose t-shirts, are designed purely for your own physical sensation.
When you pull those soft sweatpants on, you're sending a signal to your brain.
You are saying, the performance is over, I am no longer interacting with the public, I am safe, and it is time to rest.
And because she is in this state of rest, she refuses to leave the apartment again to find dinner.
So she uses a mobile app to order food directly to her door.
The source material uses a very specific word to describe why she does this. It says the app was convenient.
Convenient. Let's spell that long word. C-O-N-V-E-N-I-E-N-T.
Why is this word so powerful in modern English?
Because time and effort are highly valued commodities. Something that is convenient completely removes friction from your life.
Let's compare the two options Anna had.
Okay. Option A. Anna has to take off her comfy clothes, put her stiff jeans back on, walk down the stairs, walk 4 blocks in the dark, stand in a line, order food, wait, and walk all the way back carrying a heavy bag.
That is a high amount of friction.
Now, option B, Anna stays on her soft sofa, taps a glass screen 3 times, and 20 minutes later, a hot meal magically appears at her door.
That is the ultimate convenience.
And we must look at exactly what she ordered through this convenient app, because it introduces a highly specialized set of English vocabulary.
She ordered a hot dog and a boba tea.
Boba tea, also called bubble tea. Boba is spelled B-O-B-A.
It is a global phenomenon.
Yeah.
Sweet milk tea poured over dark, chewy tapioca balls.
But you cannot simply say, I'll have a boba tea.
Right. If you do that, the cashier will just stare at you and wait for more information.
Boba shops operate on a culture of hyper-customization.
In American and English food culture, giving the customer the illusion of total control over their food is very important.
You are expected to design the drink yourself.
The two main categories you must control are the sugar level and the ice level.
The source material provides the exact phrases you need here.
If the app asks for your sugar level, they want to know how sweet the drink should be.
The standard is regular sugar, which is 100% sweetness. But if that is too heavy for you, you can use the phrase half sugar.
Half sugar tells them to cut the sweet syrup by 50%.
You can also request less sugar or no sugar. The vocabulary is very direct.
And the ice level follows the exact same pattern. Regular ice fills the cup with frozen cubes.
But ice takes up physical space in the cup.
So if you want more of the actual liquid tea, you must ask for less ice.
And if you want the drink to be completely smooth, perhaps because the weather is cold outside, you would request no ice.
Let's put all of this together into one perfect, confident English sentence.
Okay, let's hear it.
You walk into the shop, you remember your polite cheat code, you remember your customization vocabulary, you say, I'll have a boba tea with half sugar and less ice, please.
Listen to the rhythm of that. I'll have a boba tea with half sugar and less ice, please.
It is clear, it is polite, and it leaves absolutely no room for a misunderstanding.
It is a beautiful piece of communication.
But ordering food through a delivery app introduces the final and perhaps the most stressful challenge of ordering food in English.
Ah, yes, specifically in the United States.
Anna gets her convenient boba tea and her hot dog, but the transaction on the app requires her to navigate the invisible math of American tipping culture.
Tipping. T-I-P-P-I-N-G. The root word is tip. T-I-P.
What exactly is a tip?
A tip is a sum of money given voluntarily by a customer to a service worker in addition to the basic price of the item.
In many countries around the world, tipping just does not exist.
Right. The price on the menu is the final price, and the workers are paid a full wage by the restaurant.
But in the U.S., the culture is entirely different, and it causes massive confusion for visitors.
Let's break down the rules clearly, comparing Anna's different experiences throughout the day.
Okay, the rules shift depending on the architecture of the restaurant.
Let's start with the traditional sit-down restaurant.
This is a place where a host guides you to a table. You sit in a chair.
A waiter brings you a menu, walks away, comes back to take your order, carries the heavy plates to your table, and refills your water glass.
In this environment, Tipping is culturally mandatory.
The standard expectation is to add 15 to 20% of the total bill as a tip.
If your dinner cost $100, you leave $20 on the table for the waiter.
That is a massive hidden cost if you are not expecting it.
But Anna did not go to a sit-down restaurant. In the morning, she went to a bakery.
She walked up to a counter, spoke to the cashier, and the cashier handed her a croissant over the glass case.
How does tipping work there?
In a counter service environment, like a bakery or a coffee shop, you are doing the walking. The worker is not coming to a table to serve you.
Therefore, the strict 20% rule does not apply.
Tipping is completely optional. However, you will almost always see a tip jar sitting on the counter.
A tip jar. It is literally a glass jar or sometimes a small plastic box.
Often it has a hand-drawn sign taped to it saying, "Tips appreciated."
So, if you pay for a $4 coffee with a $5 bill, the cashier hands you $1 back. That is your spare change.
A very common, polite cultural practice is to simply drop that $1 bill into the tip jar.
You are not calculating 20%. You are just leaving behind a small token of gratitude.
But if you do not leave anything, it is not considered an insult.
Okay, so sit-down restaurants require high percentage tips. Bakeries have optional tip jars for spare change.
But Anna is at home in her comfy clothes. She ordered delivery on an app. A person drove a car to bring her a hot dog.
Delivery introduces a third set of rules.
When someone performs the physical labor of bringing food to your private residence, tipping is strongly expected.
You usually do this digitally before the food arrives by selecting a tip amount on the app. You are paying them for the convenience. Wait, I need to stop here because this is the exact moment where language learners and visitors get angry.
I know exactly what you're going to ask.
If I open an app to order a hot dog, the app clearly shows me a delivery fee. Let's say it's a $4 delivery fee.
Right.
I am already paying $4 extra to have the food delivered. Why am I culturally expected to tip the driver on top of that fee?
It feels like you are being tricked into paying for the delivery twice.
It really does.
That reaction is incredibly common. And honestly, many native English speakers share your frustration.
So why do we do it?
You have to understand the business structure behind the app to understand the cultural rule.
Okay.
When you pay that $4 delivery fee, that money generally does not go to the human being driving the car.
Where does it go?
That money is kept by the massive technology company that built the app. It pays for their computer servers, their marketing, and their corporate profits.
So the person actually driving the food to my house gets nothing from that fee.
They might get a very tiny fraction of it, but their base pay is extremely low. The driver relies on your tip to actually make a living wage.
Oh, wow.
When you add a $5 tip on the app, that money goes directly into the driver's pocket.
So the tip is a personal, direct thank you for their physical effort.
Navigating the traffic, finding your apartment building in the dark, walking up the stairs, you are tipping the human, not the software.
That distinction makes the cultural expectation much easier to accept.
Yeah.
You are directly supporting the person doing the hard work.
Exactly. And speaking of the food that was delivered, Anna ordered a hot dog.
The hot dog is the ultimate piece of unlooking street food.
Let's look at how street food dynamics change the way we speak.
Street food is food sold from a small metal cart or truck on a public sidewalk. It's designed for absolute speed.
It is cheap, it is hot, and there is almost always a queue, a line of people waiting.
When you are standing in a line at a street food cart, the atmosphere is tense.
The vendor is moving incredibly fast, grilling meat and handling cash at the same time.
The people behind you in line are hungry and checking their watches.
This environment is the absolute worst place to forget your polite cheat code.
Exactly. If you finally reach the front of the line and you hesitate if you say, hello, I think I want maybe a hot dog. What do you think?
You are breaking the social contract of the street cart. You are slowing down the machine.
The vendor will get frustrated. The crowd behind you will get annoyed.
But if you step up, establish eye contact, and speak clearly using the structure we learned today,
I'll have a hot dog with mustard, please.
you become part of the machine. The transaction is flawless. It is polite, but it is highly efficient.
The vendor appreciates it. You get your food faster.
It is the perfect blend of respect and speed.
And with that fast, polite transaction, Anna's food is delivered. She pays the tip to the driver for his physical effort.
She sits on her sofa in her comfy clothes.
She drinks her boba tea with half sugar and less ice. She eats her hot dog.
Her perfect day off comes to a peaceful close. She navigated the entire English food world without a single moment of panic.
Because she had the vocabulary. But more importantly, she understood the cultural context behind the vocabulary.
So true.
Let's summarize this journey so you, the listener, can use these tools yourself.
We tracked Anna through 3 completely different environments.
We started in the fragrant, slow-paced bakery where we learned about the soft, comforting nature of the word itself.
And we learned the dual pronunciations of the croissant, or croissant.
We moved to the loud, chaotic lunch market where we learned how to customize our spice levels using crucial words like mild.
And we learned the profound difference between simply being physically full and feeling truly satisfied.
The deep emotional contentment of a perfect meal.
We also explored the modern vocabulary of convenience, the psychological comfort of our clothes, and the highly specific language of customizing boba tea.
We decoded the confusing mathematics of American tipping culture, separating the corporate delivery fee for the personal thank you to the driver.
But the golden thread running through all of this, the one lesson you must take with you into every restaurant, coffee shop, or street cart, is the power of the magic key.
Replace "I want" with "I'll have."
It transforms you from a demanding child into a polite, confident adult. It removes friction from every interaction.
Now, we are speaking directly to you, the listener. Listening to us explain these words is only the first step.
You must train your physical muscles to say them.
Do not just read the phrase "I'll have" in your mind. Say it out loud right now. "I'll have a coffee, please."
Feel where your tongue moves. Practice the rhythm of spicy or mild.
Practice ordering your boba tea to the empty room. "I'll have a boba tea with half sugar, please."
Building this physical muscle memory means that when the pressure is on, when you are standing in front of a real cashier in a loud city, the words will flow out of you naturally.
It removes the panic of translation, allowing you to actually enjoy the experience of the food.
As we finish our deep dive today, we want to leave you with a final thought.
We have spent our time talking about the mechanics of language.
Yeah.
The grammar, the vocabulary, the tipping rules.
But language is deeply connected to your internal psychology.
The next time you walk into a restaurant in a foreign country and order food in a second language, pay close attention to your body language.
Pay attention to how you feel inside when you use that polite phrase, "I'll have."
Knowing that you are using the exact right cultural code changes you. Does it make you stand a little taller?
Does it stop you from feeling like an outsider apologizing for your English?
Does it make you feel confident taking up space in a new culture?
When you speak their language on their terms, you are no longer just a tourist passing through. You are an active participant in their world.
Keep practicing out loud. Keep stepping up to the counter with confidence.
Keep finding new foods to try.
Thank you so much for exploring the art of ordering with us on this deep dive. Have a wonderful, truly satisfied day.